Alright everyone, welcome back to Joe Man's Land. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to be doing a very unlikely camera shootout. Today we're going to be comparing the Pocket 3 to the Sony ZV-1. Now you might be wondering, why would I compare these two cameras? Well, number one, I have both of them right now and the Pocket 3 is still on loan from the camera store, which reminds me of today's video's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by the camera store here in Calgary. If you're looking to rent the latest gear, get some of the best deals, or attend some very amazing seminars on how you can improve your photography, hit the link for the camera store down below. But let's get into why I might want to compare these cameras. Well, the reason is because I actually sold my Pocket 2 very recently to replace it with the Sony ZV-1. Number one was I really wanted a camera that had a bit more of a focal range so I could take photo and video at the same time. And also as well, the 1-inch sensor on the Sony ZV-1 would just result in better video quality. But now with the Pocket 3, we've got a 1-inch sensor. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some walking, talking, vlogging tests with both cameras. Now, the Pocket 3 actually has a very awesome onboard microphone, while the Sony ZV-1s I would definitely say is not as good. I will do one quick one-to-one comparison that way, but I will actually look to rig this camera up the way I usually vlog with it so you can get a true idea of what this looks like for vlogging and what this would look like unrigged. Might be a little bit unfair, but I'm thinking with the stabilization and the stereo mic that's in this, it's going to be pretty competitive. Everything will be shot in 4K 24 because unfortunately this camera cannot do 4K 60, so we can't really do a one-to-one that way. So we'll shoot 4K 24 on here in D-Log, and we'll shoot 4K 24 on here in H-Log 3. But without further ado, let's switch to a quick vlogging test here, and then we'll go and do some street vlogging down in the city. Let's go. Alright, so this is what the Sony ZV-1 looks like without any mic or anything added to it. Obviously, I'm still shooting in H-Log 3. I didn't want to completely change my vlogging settings, but this is what it looks like with the active stab turned on. Onboard mic again, it's being processed. I mean, it's definitely better than a lot of compact camera onboard mics, but it's definitely not something that I would comfortably use in a lot of different scenarios. All right, right now you were seeing me through the Pocket 3. I am using the onboard microphone, so obviously I've done a little bit of post-processing on it just to get the most out of it, but this is what it looks like just on a tripod, not moving at all. I think that's the first sort of kudo point I will give to the Pocket 3 is the camera is much bigger than on the Pocket 2, and it is nice and bright, and it's actually brighter than it is on the Sony ZV-1. I can see this in all lighting, which is pretty awesome. All right, so now we're on the actual setup I would usually use for vlogging. Again, it's the Sony ZV-1, but now I'm using a selfie stick as well as my two clip-on mics. Eventually, I will hopefully be getting a wireless mic system to use with this camera, because honestly, carrying a wired lapel is pretty annoying, but it definitely does work well, and it definitely does overall improve the audio quality on this camera. But let me know what you guys think of the stabilization. Again, I've got the stab turned on as well as steady shot. If I don't use my selfie stick, I have to use my wide angle adapter, but again, right now I've got my selfie stick with me. All right, so here's the vlogging test on the Pocket 3. I hope it looks good. I hope it sounds good. Again, it's pretty overcast today, so I mean, it's not going to be great for testing the dynamic range of the camera, but I would definitely say the active track is definitely working pretty darn good. I really like how it feels in my hand as well. It's a little bit bigger than the Pocket 2, but I actually don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think it actually works really well. Arm's length, I mean, there is a wide angle adapter you can use to get a bit wider on. Okay, so now we've got active track turned on. I hope this looks good. I'm sure my audio isn't quite as good, but this is something that was on the Pocket 1 and 2, but just wasn't very good. So let's see if it can actually follow me. Oh wow, it's actually following me, because before, if I was to walk this fast, it definitely wouldn't have followed me, unfortunately. Alright, let's do a quick low light vlogging test with the Sony ZV-1. Right now I'm shooting at ISO 3200. It's set anywhere between 250 to 3200. I just am leaving it on auto there. And then in terms of the shutter speed, again, that is set to auto. Maybe not the best thing to do. I'm shooting in H-Log 3. It is pitch dark out here right now. Definitely a complex lighting environment for sure. I think the camera's handling it relatively well. All right, here we are vlogging with the Pocket 3. I'm shooting with ISO auto 800 to 1600 only. I didn't want to jack it up too high. This camera's got a fixed aperture, so it's good that it's nice and wide. 4K 24 because most of my videos are edited in 4K 24, so I thought that would be good. The stabilization definitely looks solid. I'm also shooting an H-Log 10-bit on here. Really impressed with the way that color grades so far. Really loving it. But yeah, this is what the same vlogging scenario that I did with the ZV1 would look like with the Pocket 3. All right, well, let's wrap up this comparison, comparing the Pocket 3 to the camera you're seeing me through right now, the Sony ZV1. I don't think it's a really fair comparison. They're very different cameras, and you buy them for very different reasons. Yes, I know the price point is similar, and I would say if you're looking for just strictly a video camera, I mean, this one definitely wins. It's got the same size of sensor, true mechanical stabilization, and it can do 10-bit. I mean, that's a pretty powerful little weapon if you ask me. But if you're looking for a camera that can do both photo and video, and can do a good job of both, I would say that's where the ZV1 still has its advantages. I definitely really like this little camera. If I had a budget for another camera, this would be the one I would buy. But maybe you don't feel the same way. Either way, comment below. Anyways, let's wrap this one here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and remember to take beautiful photos every single day. Don't do it for the views, do it for yourself, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Whew.